So many of you guys have been asking me, what's the best way to make the most money as a bedside nurse? And honestly, there are so many different ways, but in this video, I'm going to be going over the top 5 ways to make the most money as a bedside nurse. So stay tuned. Welcome back to the channel, LifeofaPsychNP. And if you are new to this channel, let me formally introduce myself. I'm Darty. I'm a board-certified psychiatric nurse practitioner. And in this channel, I go over several different subjects to educate the public about mental health, ways to improve your lifestyle, topics related to nursing, nurse practitioners, and specifically psychiatric nurse practitioners like myself. So if you are interested in any of these topics, feel free to subscribe. Make sure you like this video because it helps me out so much with the algorithm, and follow me on Instagram at LifeofaPsychNP. So, you probably clicked this video because you're interested in making as much money as possible as a bedside nurse. And I know there are so many different videos out there that show you ways that you could make so much money, but at the same time, a lot of them are unobtainable. And I wanted to come up with a list of 5 different things that people can actually obtain and do on a normal basis in order for them to make as much money as possible. So without further ado, let's go over the 5 ways that you can make as much money as possible as a bedside nurse. So let's go started. Make sure you stay until the very end of this video in order for you to learn the most important and the best way for you to make as much money as possible as a bedside nurse. And before we get started, I actually wanted to give you an update on my Psychiatric NP Handbook that I created with 2 other psychiatric nurse practitioners. And if you haven't heard it already, make sure you go check it out because it's one of those things that's going to change your life forever, especially if you're a new grad Psych NP or a Psych NP student. This is a comprehensive handbook that actually gives you everything that you need in order for you to get started and to safely practice. It goes over common diagnosis, it goes over interview documentation, it goes over medications, and goes over clinical pearls that's going to help you out in the long run. So make sure you check it out. Link is going to be down below, and make sure you use my discount code LifeofaPsychNP for 10% off. So without further ado, let's get started on this video. So the first way to make the most money as a bedside nurse is taking advantage of night shift differential. By working night shift, you're able to get the differential and you're going to get paid a lot more compared to other people. When I worked night shift, my differential ranged from anywhere from $3 all the way to $10. Yes, you heard that right. $10 night shift differential. And I know some people even go to $20 night shift differential depending on the needs of that specific person. So you always have to think about how much money you can get by working the night shift differential. And yes, it's a little bit harder depending on just the schedule, and sometimes depending on the unit it may be harder, such as working nights in an ER or a trauma center where you're going to be getting a lot of patients that are coming in either trauma situations. So you always have to think about, sometimes it is a lot harder during the night shift, but for the most part you need to make sure you take advantage of the night shift differential because you can get paid really well by working night shift, and you can earn that top dollar by working night shift. So the second way to make the most money as a bedside nurse is by taking advantage of holiday pay and differential. So you have to think about, a lot of hospitals pay you extra for working holidays. And if you're young, you don't have too many obligations, and you don't necessarily have family in town, you can take advantage of every single holiday and getting paid that double pay, or maybe double pay and a half. And you have to think about all of these differences in pay because at the end of the day, just working your regular holiday shift, you're going to get paid way more compared to that normal shift. And if you can take advantage of every single holiday, because some hospitals have way too many holidays that we know of, you can take advantage of that pay. So make sure you take advantage. So the third way to make the most money as a bedside nurse is working in specialty units. So typically working in specialty units such as the ER, ICU, cath lab, L&D, Pediatrics, sometimes you can get a specialty pay and a specialty bonus. Where I worked specifically, I got a pay increase of $5 compared to med-surg units, compared to other units, because I was working in a specialty unit, and sometimes it may be even more than that. I remember a job opening that we're paying $20 for working in a specialty unit over the regular pay of a med-surg nurse. So you always have to think about working in these specialty units to be able to get the top dollar and to make the most money as a bedside nurse. So the fourth way to make the most money as a bedside nurse is working multiple per diem jobs. So when you work multiple per diem jobs, you're not getting any benefits, but at the same time, you are going to get paid a lot higher compared to these other positions that have benefits. If you have benefits through your spouse or have benefits through someone else, then take advantage of these per diem jobs because they are going to pay you top dollar. When I worked my per diem job at Kaiser, I was getting paid way more than what my regular full-time job was. And let's face it, those per diem jobs can be great because you're only there a few times and you don't necessarily have to worry about all the politics. You don't have to worry about so many different things, and you're getting paid relatively well. So you need to make sure you take advantage of these per diem jobs because they pay you top dollar compared to other people. So my fifth and final way for you to make the most money as a bedside nurse is by being a travel nurse. And being a travel nurse is wonderful, especially during these times, during COVID. You are going to get top dollar for what you're worth, because a lot of places some people don't want to work in, and if you're willing to work in certain areas that are different specialties or different areas that might not have enough nurses, you are going to get paid relatively well as a travel nurse. I know so many different travel nurses that get paid really well, sometimes even more than nurse practitioners and even some psychiatric nurse practitioners, and it's pretty crazy, and the amount of money you can make is great. So you always have to think about travel nursing. And the beauty about travel nursing is you don't technically have to even leave your state. Obviously you should be able to leave your state, because if you want to experience the whole travel side of things, definitely leave your state. But if you don't want to leave your state, I think some places will let you work as long as it's greater than a 50-mile radius from where you live. So you can technically still be a traveler then. So you always have to think about what you can do moving forward to help you out in your career. And a lot of the times people will go towards traveling because you can make way more money than someone that's not a traveler. Well guys, I hope you truly enjoyed this video. I hope you were able to learn 5 ways that are significant enough to you for you to make the most money as possible as a bedside nurse. And if you have any other ways, make sure you comment down below so I can actually share it with other people and letting them know what ways they can make more money also, because we're all in this together as nurses, and we got to make sure we can earn the most money possible to make sure that we can take care of ourselves. Well, as always, have a wonderful day, and until next time, bye!